Alright, I'm going to do a review on some changes I made to my 3D printed knitting machine. It's the one that was designed by Steve Turner, but this is my Erlbacher. I bought this Erlbacher after I made my little pink sock machine, the one that the cylinder turns instead of the the base of this thing. So they operate differently. Like this one, the carrier goes around the cylinder. On the little pink sock machine that I started out with, the cylinder turns and the yarn carrier is stationary. So the machine that Steve Turner designed is a lot like this one. So after I got the little pink sock machine made, I enjoyed making socks so much on that, I went ahead and bought the Erlbacher. And then when I saw Steve Turner's design, had a ribber and all of that, I decided to make it. It's a lot of fun to make your own things with a 3D printer. But I wanted to show the setup of the Erlbacher so that I could figure out how to make it easier to turn the handle on my 3D printed knitting machine. So as you see, the handle is a little offset. Here is the yarn mast is straight across this way. So they've offset the handle just a little bit so that when you're sitting right here, it's easier to turn. Obviously they have a whole different type of handle that ergonomically it's very easy on the hands. So I decided to mount my 3D printed knitting machine at an angle so that it would be easier for me on my hand. So I'll move my camera now. Just ignore all the mess going on, and I should have moved my lamp. It's going to be in the way, but I've got my yarn already threaded through there, so I can't move the lamp. But you see the yarn mast is straight across from the where the handle is mounted here. So when I was sitting in front of, I don't know if you can see my hand, let me back up a little bit. When I was sitting in front of the machine, I had a little trouble getting, not doing this without pain, and it was awkward gripping this and turning it this way. Whereas if you're sitting over here to the side, you've got a really good grip. I do want to see if someone has remade this knob here so that maybe it's a little fatter, maybe a little longer. I know it's going to be hard to find a bolt that'll go all the way through, but I would like this to be a little bit fatter and a little bit longer, and it gives you a really good grip. So I found it a lot easier to turn like this, and I'm not sitting, so I really can't do it right now, but it has really helped for me to angle this. So I already had this table. I'd cut some MDF, and I'd cut a little slot out for my 3D printer to sit, my 3D printed sock machine to sit like this in the table. So I just got my jigsaw out and started cutting so that I could recess this back a little bit more. I had to worry about the mounts of this table underneath, and I had to figure out where to mount it so that I could have it at a decent angle. So I'm going to clean this up later, or I may remake the whole top of this later after I've used it for a while, but I have found already that this has really helped me with my hands and turning the machine. This is my first, I don't know what you call this thing. This is the thing that the cylinder fits in. I forgot all the names of these. I did reprint, someone had remade this cam, this tension cam, and I did like it better than the original. I do still like the torsion springs here. I think you call them torsion springs. They really click these things really nice, but they are a doozy to install, and I've had them fly off before, and so I've put some hot glue on there to keep them kind of in place, but they work very well. But if they ever come out again, I'm like, I don't really want to deal with it. And also had put some marks to find out where the end of my little tension spring, or the little springs, the little cams that flip up and down, so that I'll know when they've passed a certain needle. So this one, I think Jeeping Johnny or something like that, I think he calls it a knitting machine for you and for my mom. Well, he took Steve Turner's design and he remade some things. So I had to reprint this outer shell that the cylinder sits in. I was able to keep my cylinder. I had to reprint this tension cam because the way he had it designed on the inside, and these little flippers. And so it took me a while to figure out which way to lay them on my 3D printer so that they would print the best, but there was quite a bit of sanding I had to do because they're kind of a weird print. So, but I really like the way they work, and I was thinking that they would need a spring to pull it down, but it really works well. So I've got my heel spring attached right now. I've got it engaged, and again, I've done a video on the remake of this heel spring that Steve Turner had designed, and I really like the new one. It's easy to do. It's a lot easier to make and install than the first version, and so I use it quite a bit on heels and toes. So I've got a few needles in hold so that I can show you how easy it is to see where this thing has reached your last needle. I did put a little mark on there with a Sharpie, so you know that you're got to go when you're making a heel or a toe. You have to keep going until this last needle that is in work passes that little flipper in the inside. And sometimes you have to watch on the inside, but if you watch this thing right here, when I'm hoping it's still on the camera, when it gets to that last needle, that thing drops down, and you know you've passed the last needle. So I can actually turn around and come back, and my heel spring is pulling up the slack of my thread just like I need it to. I'm going to try to go slow. So when that engages, it's going to come up, well, on the other side. So maybe you'll see this other one. See, now it's up. It's engaging with these needles, so it's up. And I'm trying to turn very slowly so I don't drop any stitches. So now this one is up because it's engaged. That's the one that we were looking at. So when it comes past these needles over here, it just dropped down. So I know that I'm clear of all of these working needles. So that's what I do like about these, is you can visually see it. You don't really hear a loud click like you do on the original carriage here. You can really hear those click when they get past those needles. On this one, if you just keep your eye on this little arm, I do like to go a whole lot farther because that gives me more slack on my yarn when I'm coming back, so it doesn't get too tight on these heels and toes. I don't have any weights. I didn't put my weights on, so I don't want to do any more stitching right now. This is just some practice yarn, but anyway, I do like the new remake of this. I do have to do a little bit more sanding. My ribber arms don't really fit in there very well, so I need to take it off and do a little bit more work on it. But it works very well. Very easy to install. You don't have to worry about putting those little springs on that are, like I said, very difficult. When I first did it, I was losing so many of them because if you don't hold them just right and you're trying to install them, they'll just fly across the room and then they're gone. So anyway, if you're making this for the first time, I would use this model right here with the tension cam that goes in it. So it's Jeeping Johnny that did the remake of this. Just keep in mind that when you're watching me play with this here, I have not sanded this thing. I've got some work to do on it. This one is working very smoothly. My cylinder turns smoothly. I don't struggle to turn at all. I can get socks made pretty quickly. So it's broken in, I guess you could say. So I just wanted to hurry up and try these little flippers So I didn't do all the work that I need to do, but I am going to take it apart and work on it a little bit more so that it is easier and smoother and quieter to go ahead and turn.